All right, everybody. We have a familiar face on the podcast. Singer-songwriter out of Syracuse. Now in Albany, I've heard.
Yep.
Blusty, what's up, man?
Oh man, how's it going? It's always good to be back on this
Hold
podcast.
on. Is it Albany or Albany? Which one?
I say Albany. I bet you a lot of people in upstate New York would say Albany. There's a little bit of an accent difference there, but
There's
I,
a
I think it's Albany.
yeah, there's a battle within the battle. All right, so July was the last time we spoke to you. You and my guy Freestyle dropped Change, activist kind of theme, right?
hmm
Promoting obviously change. I mean, it's in the title. So what have you been doing since that like release? I know we're gonna talk about Stray Dog. Have you been promoting that or what you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, Stray Dog was such a quick project. I haven't been releasing a ton of music, but I've been trying to really just develop the new style, release music that I'm happy with, and Change was part of a bigger album that Freestyle and I can talk about another time. But we've been putting a lot of effort into that, so just a lot of writing and just getting set up with a. I got set up with a manager now, so figuring out my new style, figuring out how to do this um properly and not, release music without people seeing it has been the biggest thing we've been working on right now.
Yeah, so that's cool. So you and Freestyle still you guys did Freedom, right?
Yep, yeah, Freedom was something that I produced and then we sampled, sent it to him. That'll also be a part of that bigger project. But we wanted to
Gotcha.
release it as a single at a time.
Gotcha. Well, let's get to Stray Dog. All right, let's just get to it. Um, can I tell you my favorite? Is that okay? I mean, they're all good, but
Yeah,
I don't want to be like, well, I don't want to be like that guy. But
no, go for it. Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
all right, you can probably guess which one I'm gonna which one do you think I'm gonna pick?
That's hard because my favorite is Shame the Devil. I really like that beat and everything that
It's
went
not
into it.
that one. So now you're down to two.
Oh man, I'm gonna say the wrong one now. Is it useless maybe?
Oh no, it's
Oh,
Overboard. I love Overboard. It's a great song. I used it as the promotional today. The Instagram post.
oh, you know what? I should have guessed it based on that.
Yeah, I love that song, man. Let's see what I wrote down before. I wrote down a few things. Preparedness, Blusty,
Yeah.
Like it's basically talking about like you can't sleep at night and you're just working overtime. Is that pretty much what it is? Getting going like too much, too quick?
Yeah, I mean the whole EP ended up being about
Yeah, I noticed that.
um
Useless is
like
like real slow. Like I
yeah,
like it, but it's just I'm not saying it's bad. It's a taste that you have to like if you're not familiar with that sort of music, it
mhm.
may take a minute, but it's a good song. I like it, but just Overboard's more my like speed.
Yeah. I mean, Overboard was one of the pieces of the that three-part EP, and it talked a lot about having too much going on in your head, having too much going on in life. I had graduated college and I started this job, and I was working like 80-hour weeks, and it was real tough. And like the owner of the business was really just like, am I allowed to swear on this? Like, I don't know,
Yeah, you should remember that. You forgot.
I always forget. I'm like, I don't want
I
to say.
was cussing up a storm on a few of those episodes, man. Yeah, feel free, go for it.
Perfect. But yeah, the owner was just, she was an asshole. I was working for this winery and this festival, and it was cool, but it was too much, and Overboard was just all these things going on, and I was dating someone at the time, and like I couldn't keep up with it along with the job, along with finding an apartment and like figuring out life after college because there's, a lot of new puzzle pieces that are put into play. Um
Yeah.
but that was the main theme of Overboard there. I had a lot of fun
Yeah,
writing that.
it's like catchy, man. I'm like, damn, I started like singing some of that song. I'm like, damn, I need to stop. You know,
I had
I just
some
kept
good
singing. I
feedback.
just kept putting on like loop, is what I mean. It's so good that I needed to stop. That's the thing. Or I'd be
Oh,
overplaying it. But you can
I
never
appreciate that.
overplay things like that, right, Blusty? You can never overplay.
Well, I mean, here's my thought is when I write a song before it's released, I listen to it like 5 times a day because I'm really excited that I wrote a new song. And then when it releases, I'm like, man, I've already heard this like 1,000 times, and
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not feeling as much anymore.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. Just real quick. This wasn't one of those where it's like I organize, say, hey, couple months, month. This was like, hey, bro, when do you want to record? I'm like, bet. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I like doing
Dude,
that.
I've been real bit. Oh, I appreciate it. I've been real busy, bro. So I started a new job, and it's like an office job. I'm doing pretty well in it. I'm not gonna disclose, but it's just been like busy as hell, bro. And I've just been like, somehow the podcast is still making it. Like, I still am scheduling people. Not that I'm not putting, since it's Sensibly Cynical. I mean, with a great name like that, you can't let it end, got to keep it
How could
going.
you? Yeah.
But not that I'm putting on the back burner. Sensibly Cynical is not going anywhere, people. But I'm just saying, when you get a new job, you know how it is, Blusty. Like, that shit deserves like your undivided attention, you know?
Yeah, I started a new job in December, and like the whole like December through January time, that's what I was doing, period. Was like figuring out the new job. I was figuring
City
out.
is Syracuse in? Like they have multiple campuses, right? Well, what's their
So Syracuse, like I never went to Syracuse College. I went to a college in Albany, but
Oh, okay. So what school did you go to?
Siena, out in like
Siena.
Brooklyn area.
Okay. Okay. See, I need a refresher too. Siena. Okay. I'm a sports guy, so I'm gonna try to guess their. I can just edit that part out, but I
Yeah,
can try to guess their mascot. Is it they're green? They're green and yellow, right?
yeah, yeah,
Don't tell me. I can edit this part out too. Don't say it, Blusty. Don't say it. All right, I'm gonna give up. Oh no. I know the color, I know the logo. I try to guess people's mascots. So if I don't guess it in about 5 seconds, I'm gonna ask you to tell me what it is.
yeah. Yep.
Rebels?
No, no.
And that's Ole Miss. Yeah, what is it?
So see, it's the Saint Bernards.
Oh yeah, we would have been here all day, bro.
Yeah.
We would have been here all day.
Yeah, it's a random, random, so they can call it the Saints too and be all
Saints. I
fun,
think
but
that's what if I would have gotten it right, that probably would have been that's what I've heard of it being the Saints.
yes, yeah.
All right, man. So yes, straight out. When did you start recording these? For this, let's just go through it. So one is useless, two is overboard. We talked about that, and three is shame the devil.
Yeah, so man, this is bad of me because I think I dropped it in September, but we it was basically
That's
I
not
wrote
that
it.
long ago. Let's be real. That's not that long ago.
No, no, it just feels like a whole year. I wrote it in one night and then had it all mixed and everything in one night. I was writing, I started with Shame the Devil actually, and I was like, I texted my engineer, yo, Mikey T at Syracuse Sound, and I was like, I'm gonna write an EP all in one night. And he's like, do it. And then, and then I had to because I told him I would. And I was really just like in this mindset um of writing it in one night. And it was like a, 9 to 4 a.m. type of project where I finished all three of those songs.
Yeah. So what you already told me, you already went out and said like your favorite of the three. So let's talk about the one that we haven't talked about yet. Useless. We did a little bit, but what was like you talked about the overall vibe of the EP.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it
So
what was that one? What was the like real meaning behind that one? Like the from start to finish, like the useless.
yeah, I mean, so overall, I was talking about I have ADHD and sometimes well I have ADD. I don't have the H, but sometimes it gets like intense. And there's like that little bit of like neurodiversity where you kind of handle emotions and stress differently. And the whole thing was talking about like self-worth and like focus and motivation. So useless came down to like the problems of feeling useless when you're going through kind of that mindset where you're like, oh man, I can't get it right. When you're going through, you're changing a lot. You have a lot of unfortunate events happening in your life, and you take it onto yourself, even when it's not your fault. That was the idea behind Useless. Actually, that was the second song I wrote for the EP, but I just thought it should go first, for flow wise musically, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it, man. And how did you promote that? Or it was just busy and like you just started going to next thing? Did you do any promotional like around New York and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be doing some shows in Albany hopefully soon. I'm starting to reach out to people and do some acoustic shows, and I can perform those songs. But when I dropped it, I did a brief like Instagram live stream, and I
Oh, okay.
played through it and introduced the album. I
But
did
now the
some,
best for last, Blusty. The best for
yeah,
last, you know?
yeah, you know, it's
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So we talked, I think you came on first with the on the come upstairs, which I brought back. I don't know if you noticed that.
yes.
I brought back and I got some more artists that are like, obviously on the come up, like young artists. So what do you remember from that interview on the podcast? Like, what do you remember from that interview that we did?
Oh, the first interview?
Yeah, the
I
first
mean,
time we met. From that episode?
yeah, yeah. I remember like I had done some smaller interviews and things like that around the time. I had just done like a big show where I'd opened for Jason Derulo and things, and I was writing a completely different in a different style and a different mindset. And but you were a good interviewer because the other ones, like I went on some of these interviews and they were just like
Like,
they didn't really have any questions prepared. They didn't really know what they were doing.
if this
It
was
was
if
awkward.
this was molasses, they were that. They were like just taking. Yeah, I
Yeah,
hear
it
you.
was awkward, but this one was good, and I remember talking about teas and whole different vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I try to keep it upbeat, Blusty. You know the deal.
Yeah.
When you've been doing as many interviews as I have, you better be, decent.
Oh, I mean,
See,
yeah.
practice makes perfect. I believe in that. I do. That's a good look cliche.
Oh, yeah.
So, outside of music, what you been up like? What you've been up to like outside of music? What kind of stuff you've been doing? I know
Outside of
you're an activist. You're a producer, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I still produce in terms of activism, been up on that, trying to start more into that, really like provide resources through am who I am is part of music. Freestyle and I talked about that a little bit as like a business, a brand, but I want to include resources on that website, you know, in terms of ways to get involved, places to vote, voting information, all these different things. And still been keeping up with that. My new job, I work in the nonprofit scene.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, me too.
oh, awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my new job is on Profit Space.
It's a good space.
I'm a manager's case man, talking to people. But
Cool.
yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
you're good. And I've been doing events with there, and I work for Leading Age New York, which does a lot with long-term care, and then we're helping
Oh.
diversity there, and there's a diversity committee, so we're trying to mesh the two. A lot of the essential workers
Is that like
and
hospice kind of stuff? Like hospice, like hospital and
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like long-term housing and stuff?
yeah. So like a lot of like retirement home stuff, but
Yeah,
I don't
right,
work
right, right.
specifically on that end. I do continuing
Yeah,
education.
you don't have to. But yeah,
Yeah.
I get what I get what you're saying.
But it's been cool, man, just being able to help people and like try and spread diversity throughout the industry, so the essential workers and managers aren't all split up. But it's related to what we were talking about and change and stuff. So it feels good, man. It just feels so good.
Yeah. So, producers, so do you have any other, are you gonna be working? I mean, we love freestyle, right?
Hmm.
But, do you have any like collaborations in the pipeline either with him or with somebody else or
Yeah, let me think
whatever?
what I can talk about right now.
I don't, no, no, no. I don't, unless you want to spill the tea, Blusty.
No,
That's up to
let's
you.
talk about it.
No pressure. No pressure. Okay, buddy? No pressure.
Yeah. there's an artist in Syracuse named
There's never
Turco.
pressure in New York. You get what I did there?
Ah, I got it.
Anyways, go ahead.
Artist in Syracuse named Furco. We got a song coming out that was also talking about mental health. We wrote this in 2021. I recorded it in his closet at the time. So like come a long way from them, but it's still, we're
Wait. In his closet?
yeah, we had like, the clothes muffle the volume and we had his mic there so we could record it and he had his little home studio set up and
That's crazy.
yeah, it sounds good though. He's a really good engineer, so
I bet. Well, continue on, man. I'm interested. Keep going.
yeah, so we're it talked a little more about mental health, the story of this girl who, was dealing with suicidal thoughts, things like that. Grew up with a rough family,
Hmm.
and based it on some of our real life experiences. But we got a lot going on with that. We want to do a music video for it in Syracuse and really promote the hell out of it on TikTok and try and get it going, you know what I
So,
mean?
TikTok. Let's talk about that. Are you up to date on what's going on?
With the band.
Yeah. You
Do you
got
want my
any?
opinion on
Yeah.
it?
Go ahead, man. I set you up for it.
Oh man. Well, I could really.
We could be here all afternoon. It is 2:37 Central Time, 3:37 Eastern. So you're telling me, Blessy, we could spend the next hour. I only have the free version of Zoom, okay? So, even though
I'll
I got
keep
a
it
new
short.
job, I haven't gotten the, high roller subscription yet, okay? But
No,
give me
we'll keep it short.
the All right, go ahead. What's your thoughts on the TikTok, man?
I think it's so stupid, man. I think they're just trying to like waste energy and waste money on something that's got racist motivations. You know what I mean? It's like Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube and literally all these social media platforms do the same thing. And there's just no evidence on what they're arguing for. They don't even know the difference between China
Well,
and
before you
Singapore.
continue, are they like is this like a totally total band? Like a totally total band?
Any
Like
investors they said that are like Chinese owned places need
gone?
to divest, need to
What?
take
That's
out or
crazy.
they're going under.
Or there'll be legal action.
Yeah, which I don't really know how I don't know how that works. I think it's a distraction though. We're
Yeah.
being honest. I think there's so many musicians that have created their livelihood off TikTok.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Yeah, like I know I've at least interviewed like one or two that literally I hope they're not listening, but it kind of helped them a lot. Like, oh, I got like a bunch of views on like TikTok and stuff. I'm like, yeah. Without TikTok, I'm not sure about like half of the like, you know, decades like young people, that that produce music. Like, yeah, without that, where do they all? I mean, obviously they go to Instagram. Their Instagrams already, with reels and stuff. But
Well, even the
yeah,
introduction of like
who says Snapchat couldn't do the same? Couldn't like pivot to TikTok style?
I
I'm just
think if
saying.
anything,
I'm just saying.
if anything, it's gonna either go to Instagram because Instagram has Reels, or people are just gonna start watching YouTube more because a lot of
Oh,
the
so
TikTok
You
creators,
don't think Snapchat's gonna make a rebirth, do you? No.
Snapchat's like a
Hook up with chicks and guys, and you know, it was a big like when I was dating somebody, like we would message like on Snapchat.
yeah, I used to a lot. I feel like people don't as much anymore, especially like I used it a lot in high school. I used it throughout college, but I feel like at this
That's what I'm
point,
saying. It was like a social like texting kind of app. Like, hey, what you doing? And then you could call on it.
yeah, it's always changing though. Like it's always there's always something new. There's Signal, which Signal's been around for a while.
Wait. Talk about Signal. What
Signal,
is it? What is it?
it's like a group me kind of deal, but it's uh untraceable. It's pretty hard to trace.
Nothing's
So
untraceable on the internet, Blusty. Let's.
I just, it's convenient when you need, so that's
No,
all.
I know. I'm just busting chops. Yeah, I'm just busting chops. It's good catching up, man. It's always good talking to you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's always,
Um,
you ask good questions, and so
I
I
appreciate
appreciate
that,
that.
man. Well, let's talk about Shame the Devil. That's the one that you said you're really, really, really into. Has like a contrasting style, right? Of the other two, kind of a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. It's a little more for me, it felt I wanted to put it first so badly because that's my favorite and as the first one I wrote off of it, but it really just had such an energy of like closing out the project that I felt like it belonged there. Freestyle actually gave me the some
Freestyle,
of the
my guy,
lyrics.
man. He's my guy too.
He gave me the lyrics, the walk my talk, tell the truth, shame the devil. Um, but I had added the, extra stuff around that to make it fit the theme and everything. But he gave me those lyrics originally, so shout out to him.
Yeah, the real freestyle, free advertisement, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll be back on the podcast soon, before you know it, I'm sure, about something.
Perfect.
Um, anything else about the EP? It was your first EP, right?
First EP.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen here is that EP is gonna drop. That EP already dropped. What am I saying? That EP dropped. We're gonna do an album in May, probably around. But then after that, it's all singles. So I'm
Really?
not gonna be putting
You're
all
not gonna
this.
do the full, the full, not, you know what I mean? You're not gonna do like a 9 song drop or anything like that. You're going just one at a time deal.
One thing at a time, because when it doesn't make sense to drop an album where I am, because it's really easy for things to flop at this size and to not get a lot of attention. So to put all
Right.
that money and effort and
Right, and
time,
you can come on podcasts and promote Singer-Songwriter. That happens a lot. You're not the only one I've heard that does that. That's a common thing, especially nowadays.
yeah,
Like
and
in the 90s, that wouldn't be as popular, but it's not the 90s anymore.
I wish it was musically, nothing else musically though.
90s, that'd be like unheard of. It'd be like, hey man, make your set and then hand out the discs. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we're not there anymore, which is probably a good thing. Besides music, but you know,
yeah.
like I could go. I was born in the late 80s, Blusty, so you don't have to tell me
Really?
twice about the yeah, I don't look old, do I?
No, you don't. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, late '80s is not old either. Like, come on, you.
I'm in my 30s, okay? That's like mid 30s.
That's
But
not old, man.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Old is old is just what's the old saying? It's just in the age is in the eye of the beholder or something to that effect.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something to that effect, or like or the more common one, age is just a number, that's a more common one. But yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
that
that.
can get.
I believe that, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I think.
age is just a number. I've I've met some chicks that I was like, no way. And they were like, they were like I thought that they were like 21 or something, and then they were like 32. And I'm like, oh, okay. Keeping yourself look clean and stuff. And I've met buddies at the bar, and one of them was like we're just like hanging out with like a group of friends, right? And he was like, oh well, I can't drink. And I'm like, why you at a bar, bro? He's like, oh well, blah 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 blah. I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm just saying, he looked older than he was. So it goes both ways. It's how you keep yourself, right, Plusty?
yeah. I mean, my parents are. Um, they're not at all old. They're older than I am, obviously. But
Mm.
most of my friends when they meet my parents are like, "Oh man, like they're cool. Like they're still out doing things. They're doing like 22-mile treks and things like that. So they're more active than I am. I'm out of shape, dude. My
But I
parents.
like reactions that you gave me, like, oh, really? I like that. Keep doing that.
Yeah,
Because
well,
the
you know
older
what?
you get, you wanna look younger than you really are. That's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. You wanna just. I think it's the mentality. You gotta just not worry about it because I think the every time.
Most people guess that I look late 20s. I get some mid 30s.
Yeah, yeah. I'd
That's
say I'd
that's
say that.
that's usually what I get. But enough about me. Lusty, where can people find Straight Dog, man?
Uh, you know, uh, I'm Blusty on all platforms, Blusty. It's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. I don't really put things on SoundCloud anymore. But it is on, I don't know, all those random ones, iTunes, Deezer, but if you listen to
Oh,
Deezer,
Deezer's that. Hey, it's like D's, you know what?
you know,
You know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you got that. Amazon Music, man. If you're listening to music on Amazon Music, don't do that. Go find a free platform, bro. Stop
That's like
paying
people
for
buying
songs.
like the 99-cent songs on like iTunes, you know?
People have bought my songs. I'm like, what are
Oh
you
yeah?
doing, bro? Like, not to stop you from buying my songs, but
No,
like,
I listened to your 3 song. I found it. What was the website? I don't know. I found it and I listened to it. Where was
yeah,
it?
it's free on
Yeah.
like every other platform, man. You got,
Hey, but you shouldn't complain. That's good. That's free money, man.
yeah, couple bucks in my pocket.
Well, they
So
take like a percentage out of it, obviously, the hit up front.
yeah, yeah. The streaming revenue is crazy because I'm
Or is it the hit, or does the tax come out at the end? Or is it they just, or do you get a percentage? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they get it, do they already take the money out, right? You have it directly in, so it takes it out, like
so
the
it just
cost, the tax.
when they pay 99 cents, you get a portion of
Okay,
it.
so it does it up front. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and when you like when you get a stream, you know, a stream is like 0.00001 cent. And I
Ridiculous,
have
dude. That's so
40,000 total now, and
yeah, but that's so ridiculous, man. No, not what you're doing. I'm just saying like the cost is just like that's crazy. But
yeah.
Busty, awesome chatting again. Anything else? Where can people find you on social media, your music?
Yeah, I mean, Blusty official on Instagram. I just I love to plug a we've been doing a lot of streaming, gaming and
Go for
everything
it.
like that
Go
on
for it.
TikTok. Guiding Lights is the account, Guiding Lights MGMT. That's the TikTok account. So, you can catch me streaming there as well now. We just started that, just got to like close to 1,000, so we can actually do it. But
That's
yeah,
what's
it's been
up.
a lot of fun.
All right, Busty. Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, yeah. Peace, man.
Tell
Good talking.
freestyle I said what's up, and he's next, all right?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, adios, man.
Peace, peace.
Peace.